Please support me through PayPal to devinwindham@gmail.com. devinwindham@gmail.com is one word, all lowercase. I also do tutoring both online and in person. I'm based in Fairfax, Virginia. If you're interested in tutoring, you can reach me at that same email. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll leave this information in the comments. So, I want to talk about how understanding is more important than memorizing in math. So, I've done some YouTube videos proving the sum and difference identities for sine and cosine. And that's what I mean by understanding in math. It's convincing yourself that a fact, such as a sum or difference identity, is true by proving it to yourself. Convincing yourself that it's true by proving it to yourself, or reading a proof and understanding that proof. Going through a proof somehow and understanding it. So when I was coming up with these proofs, it took, it's taken many years because I work on these proofs off and on for years. Going through, what happens is I'll prove it, like when I'm walking in a shopping mall, and then I'll forget my proof and then I'll prove it again. This last time, I was working on it over a few days, coming up with these proofs. But going through those proofs helped me realize that basically all I needed to do was know how to rotate in a plane, come up with basically equations for rotation, something that simple. But it really got me really good at sort of rotating in planes and visualizing things. So it helped me with, it's another proof. I was trying to do something else. I'm now trying to prove, during the night, I think of proofs basically when I'm sleeping, but during the night I was trying to prove the equivalence of the two definitions of the dot product. One involves multiplying the magnitudes of the vectors and multiplying by the cosine of the angle between them, and the other is multiplying their components pairwise and then adding. And we're all taught that those definitions of the cross product are equivalent, but we're never given a proof. That's precisely what I mean. Just accepting that on faith, I don't think as good as actually convincing yourself that those two definitions are equivalent. So I'm trying to prove them. I proved it yesterday in a YouTube video in 2 dimensions, but I couldn't think of how to extend that to 3 dimensions. It took overnight to think. It took half a day to think about it. I finished my proof this morning, but what it involved was basically rotating in a plane and coming up with equations for rotations, and I was able to do that, or maybe thinking along the lines of rotations, because of my proofs of the sum and difference identities for sine and cosine. So, that's just one illustration of how beneficial it is to understand in math rather than memorize, how beneficial it is to come up with proofs of a fact or go through a proof. Alright, I'll end this video here.